What does work-life balance mean? Well, you know what? You've come to the right place. That's what we're going to talk about. When we can live life on our terms, on a holistic level, taking into account not just our business lives, but also our health, all of our relationships, from friends, family, to our partners, the world changes. Okay, so when it comes to achieving work-life balance, what does it mean? How is it defined? And the reality is it's going to be different for everybody. But don't worry, we're going to give you very specific tools and action steps in this short video that help you define it on your terms. So initially, the first thing that I'm going to challenge you with is, in today's society, is it even possible to have healthy work-life balance? The idea of the old TV show Leave It to Beaver, where Ward Cleaver would come home, he'd put his hat on his hook. After a day's work, he'd come home, put his hat on the hook, take his coat off, and then he would be home. It was kind of sexist, that was the way the time was, but the point of bringing that up is that he was very, very clear in delineating when he was at work and when he was at home. When you have that, then you have the potential to have balance. However, in today's society, with our devices, unless you happen to be one of those very, very rare people who can actually come home, put their phone in a box, it's done, and then you're home and present, that's fine. But, so I think in a lot of cases, work-life balance isn't even possible anymore. However, a healthy, intentional work-life integration is. And what I mean by that is that we have the ability to, it's acceptable now to leave in the middle of the day to go watch a kid's soccer game, or for you to check your emails in the morning when you're having your Cheerios. But the reality is we have to put that intentionality into that. Otherwise, one or the other, and unfortunately it's usually work, is going to start to take over. So the first thing we need to do is go through and assess where it is you want to be. And what I mean by that is, how can you define where you are today? Because the reality is, most of us are living a successful life. We're basing success on what other people have said. The narrative that's been created by the advertising industry, the highlight reels of the social media platforms, and maybe even some scarcity mindsets of parents and peers. So what I'm going to suggest is, if you go to our website, doesn't cost you anything, not selling you anything, you can go to lifeon-yourterms.com, and about halfway down the page, you can take this test, and it only takes about 6 minutes. It'll give you immediate results, and it's going to give you an assessment of where you are today. You need to define where you are to starting so that you can define where you want to go. So you go through about 6-7 minutes, and it's going to give you immediate results in these 4 quadrants. What do your resources look like? Your time, your talent, your treasure. What does your professional life look like? Both the environment, how much you're feeling fulfilled by it, and the job satisfaction and calm. We're going to look at your health. What does the health look like for your physical, your mental, and your spiritual? And then lastly, what does it look like for your relationships, your partnership or spouse, friends, and family? Looking at these things in totality are going to help you define balance of what your version is. And the reality is it's different for everybody. That's okay, no worries. But first we need to do that assessment. Once you do that, easy enough, then the next thing is, if you go through for each one of these steps and think about, for each one of the slices of the pie, if you were to list out what would be 3 to 5 things that said, man, you know what, a year from now, if I could have this going on with my relationships, with my family, that'd be awesome. And list out what are those 3 things. And go around and do that for each one of the slices of the pie. What you're doing when you do this is you're creating a vision of what success looks like, what balance looks like on your terms. And that's the whole point of the book and the workshops and the online course that we offer. But when you have this tool, then you can start to visualize, all right, this is where I want to be. And then once you do that, how can you start to become proactive and put that intention around building it? But the whole purpose of this video is to define what does a work-life balance life look like? What does it mean? Well, for you as the individual, what would amazing look like for this? When you fill that out, if you could have every one of those slices of the pie 100% where you wanted it to be, what would amazing be? And that to me is what work-life balance means for you as your individual. Now, in other videos on this channel, in the course, and a variety of other places, we offer tools that help you figure out then how do we start dreaming again? How do you actually then go through and build a complete strategy to achieve it? Bear with me. We actually, in our second course that we offer, allows people to go through and they get their entire roadmap, this is mine, on how they're going to be able to achieve it and where they're going to want to go. But to start with, you were exploring what is the meaning of work-life balance. So if you found value in this, boy, we'd love to hear from you. We have a whole bunch of coaches on staff. If you're interested in joining us as a coach, we're always interested in talking with people. But if you have questions, please feel free to reach out, take the course, subscribe. Love to hear from you. Keep smiling.